Well, you can't have barbecue if you don't have good coleslaw to go with it. And since I'm doing a pulled pork for another video, I thought we'd do some coleslaw. This is one of my favorite recipes from a favorite place of mine in LA. It's a great old diner downtown, and they have probably the best coleslaw on the planet. They used to be happy to send the recipe out to you. I don't know if they still do, but I've adapted it a little bit. So here we go. Actually, the hardest part of this whole recipe is shredding the cabbage. And that's just the most time-consuming part. So cut it in half. Cut the halves in half so you have nice quarters. And then cut the core out of each quarter. You could use coleslaw mix. I've just run the numbers, and it costs about 6 times as much to use the mix as it would to use fresh cabbage. So I'm going with the cabbage just to save money. If you want to save time, you could certainly go with the mix. Best way to shred the cabbage is in the food processor. And so we take each quarter and cut each quarter in half so they'll fit into the feed tube. Okay, and into the bowl. Enormous mound of cabbage. Into a mixing bowl or a measuring cup, we're going to put 1.5 cups of mayo, 1/3 cup of sugar, a mixture of seasonings, which is a tablespoon each of mustard, dry mustard, onion powder, garlic powder, a teaspoon of celery seed, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And there you go. We have 3 tablespoons of wine vinegar. I'm using rice wine vinegar because I like the flavor. 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. And 3/4 cup of half and half. If you think this is rich, you should see the original recipe. And we're just going to mix this up well. Start slow, and then as it begins to blend, you can go a little faster. And at first, it might not look like it's enough dressing for this enormous bowl of cabbage, but as the coleslaw sits, the moisture will come out of the cabbage and make even more dressing. And that's fine. A lot of recipes tell you to salt it so that all the water drains out. Well, it's draining out a lot of flavor when you do that, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to mix this up really well. And come back to it every few minutes and keep mixing. And after about an hour, it will turn from this dry salad-looking thing into a gorgeous, fantastic coleslaw.